The time has arrived. Today we're reacting to the king of carbonara in Rome, Luciano Monosiglio. This chef Luciano is amazing, he's young, and he makes a very, very good carbonara. And he's got a label, the king of carbonara. I've been to Rome and I've tried so many amazing carbonaras, and it's very hard to say which one is best. So for him to be named the king, it must be amazing. So let's watch his recipe and let's see what's the difference and what makes this guy the king.
Ciao, sono Luciano Monosiglio, chef del ristorante Luciano Cucina Italiana.
That's Luciano, and the carbonara looks good. Carbonara looks beautiful, yeah.
Luciano Cucina Italiana, Campo dei Fiori, Roma.
He's got a restaurant in Campo dei Fiori, Rome, called Cucina Italiana by Luciano.
Oggi sono su Giallo Zafferano per cucinare la mia carbonara.
His famous carbonara, so let's learn his methods.
Prima cosa iniziamo dal guanciale.
Beautiful, beautiful guanciale.
E rimuovere tutta la parte piena di pepe e rimuovere completamente anche la codica nel retro.
Interesting, see? So of course you remove the skin, but you also remove all the parts where the pepper is. Interesting because not everybody does it. I don't do it all the time. Here in Australia I have a guanciale which got way too much pepper, and like the black part I'll take it off. It just depends on what I'm working with, but I haven't seen too many people doing it, to be honest, and he's one of them.
Facendo molta attenzione anche la parte peposa.
This peppery part will make your frying pan black, basically. They also will give a very rich, very strong flavor to the carbonara, okay? So I guess he's making the carbonara a little bit more delicate. Look how beautiful the guanciale is. It's got a nice amount of meat and fat in there.
Che abbiamo fatto è molto importante perché rimuovendo completamente il pepe dal guanciale andiamo a ridurre la possibilità che questo si bruci.
Okay, so he's avoiding that part to burn. That's why he takes it off.
A questo punto lo tagliamo a cubettoni. Come vedete il taglio del guanciale è molto importante.
Okay, so he really believes the way you cut the guanciale is very important, and he likes to cut it into chunks, I would say, of guanciale. I've been to Rome and I've tried other restaurants making this, like Roscioli, which is very famous in Rome, and they make it very similar way. They cut it into chunks. And I've also tried the way I like to eat it, with strips. I'm still a big fan of guanciale cut into strips, just because I find it gives me a better experience in my mouth, okay? The chunks could be sometimes a bit too much, but what is different here is that you removed the black part with the pepper. So maybe this part will make the guanciale more delicate. Because the one from Roscioli, I'm pretty sure had the pepper still on it, and it was, you know, very powerful when it was in my mouth. But this is probably, that's why I said it's very important. Small detail, but very important.
Abbiamo un taglio molto grossolano perché in fase di cottura ci aiuterà a rendere il guanciale croccante e rosolato all'esterno.
So he wants to do it this size, so basically it will become crunchy, and the fat will melt. So I understand what you're saying. It'll become like chips.
Un altro consiglio che vi do per quanto riguarda il guanciale è la stagionatura. È fondamentale perché il guanciale più è stagionato, più in cottura risulterà molto aromatico e meno salato.
So what he's saying is make sure you get a good guanciale that has been cured for 3-4 months, and the longer the better. It's hard. When you don't live in Italy, it's hard. Like, in Australia we find very good guanciale. I've seen USA and other parts of the world using very good guanciale. But a business probably doesn't have the time to wait 4 months because they need to sell. So I don't believe the guanciale I've been eating here is like 3 or 4 months cured. Probably 2 months the most.
Io vi consiglio sempre un guanciale che va dai 3 ai 4 mesi di stagionatura.
Yeah, good advice. If we can find it. Thank you, Chef Luciano.
Adesso ci spostiamo ai fornelli. Padella leggermente calda sul fuoco e iniziamo a rosolare il tutto.
Very important detail. He said to put the fry pan on the fire or induction, whatever you use, but not too high. It needs to be gentle. It needs to be a gentle flame, slow cooked. Otherwise the guanciale will burn. You want to do this in a gentle way. I always say this from day one. It's very important.
Importante è tenere una temperatura bassa della padella all'inizio per poi mano a mano che il guanciale inizia a sudare alzare la temperatura in modo tale che lo renda croccante all'esterno e morbido all'interno.
So he's saying start slow, be slow, and then towards the end you put it up so that you can make it crispier. Yeah, I guess so. I always keep mine low and it cooks beautifully. But the guanciale is crispy, the guanciale is nice to eat, the oil, the fat melts and it turns into oil. I like the strips, the way I do the strips, it's beautiful. But this, it's very good.
Lasciamo il nostro guanciale rosolare e a questo punto buttiamo la pasta. Aggiungiamo sale, ovviamente mettiamo pochissimo sale nell'acqua di cottura della
Very important. I actually don't put any salt anymore. He said put salt in the pasta water so the pasta can boil. I've actually learned since my first son Sebastian was born to cook with less salt and just try to use natural salt. Like in this case we got pecorino. Carbonara has a lot of pecorino. I prefer to put more pecorino in the carbonara and less salt in the pasta water, which is not a lot, but a little bit of extra salt could be too much for all of us. So I will just focus on the pecorino, which is salty, and no salt at all in this dish.
della pasta perché andremo a bilanciare tutta la sapidità che ci daranno poi in seguito i formaggi e il guanciale.
So he's using spaghettoni, which is my favorite pasta to use for carbonara. Spaghettone quadrato or thick spaghetti, it's just perfect. In Rome, I've eaten the best carbonara, in my opinion, in Rome. They give you disposable plates as well where you eat there, and it's called Maritozzo Rosso in Trastevere. And oh my God, the carbonara is incredible, made with fresh pasta. Yeah, like eggs and semolina pasta. It was to die for. Heavy, but oh my God, to die for.
Come vedete il guanciale cuoce completamente nel suo grasso, senza aggiunta di altri grassi.
See, there's no oil, no butter, nothing in there. Again, guys, I'm in Australia, the guanciale I get here is really good, but I do need to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I have to help to kind of release that fat. I have to. But the guanciale from Italy, could be from Umbria, it could be from Amatrice or the outskirts of Rome, it's outstanding. There are companies that that's all they do.
Né vegetali e né animali. Il guanciale è pronto, è dorato all'esterno e lo andiamo a questo punto a separare dal suo grasso.
Nice, so he's taking them out, so he's gonna keep them nice and crispy to serve on top of the carbonara at the end.
Partiamo con la preparazione del carbo mix.
This is very important now. Watch.
Iniziamo dal pecorino e il grana. Facciamo questo mix.
Ooh! Wow, the king of carbonara is mixing pecorino with grana. I love pecorino so much. I put pecorino in my coffee. Nice. How strong is that pecorino for you? Come on, guys. Huh? Be a little bit stronger. But grana padano mix, okay, I get it. I want pecorino, my guys. Pecorino forever.
Mix di formaggi perché? Perché il pecorino è un sapore molto antico, quindi andiamo a smorzare la sua sapidità molto importante con un leggero tocco di grana. Prepariamo il nostro mix.
Interesting. He's a professional chef, he knows what he's doing. But for you guys at home who like to make carbonara, see the way he cut the cheese, it's a little bit stringy. I think it's a bit more difficult for you guys to turn the cheese into cream. This is the same for cacio e pepe. Try to actually grate your cheese into small, grated, not like this, but grated, like finely grated, like little tiny balls. This is probably the secret to make sure that you have no fail carbonara or cacio e pepe. Because like this, it's a little bit more difficult for you to work on. But the chef, he knows what to do. Luciano can cut the cheese any way he wants because he's a chef and he knows what to do. But for you at home who don't want to fail, I will do that.
Con un leggero tocco di grana. Prepariamo il nostro mix con tutti gli ingredienti. Boule d'acciaio, mix, formaggi, prendiamo le uova e andiamo a separare l'albume dal tuorlo.
Okay, so he separates egg yolks and egg white. I wonder if he used the whole egg or just the egg yolks. But he separates them, so he must use one or the other.
Molto importante quando rompiamo l'uovo è utilizzare una superficie piatta, in modo tale che il guscio rotto non vada a finire all'interno dell'impasto.
That's a very good advice. Very, very good. Basically said always break your egg on a flat surface.
Ora beviamo e mescoliamo.
It's interesting what he's also doing. He's doing the cheese. It doesn't matter. I normally beat the eggs and then I put the cheese in there. That way I can also make sure that the eggs don't have any shells in it. But he's doing the opposite, which I guess it doesn't matter.
Mescolato il composto, aggiungo un mestolo di acqua di cottura.
Yeah, very nice. But why you do that? You do that so that you can actually not cook, kind of cook, yes, the egg, because some people are worried, oh, it's not cooked. But it also helps to make it creamier. But pasta water with starch is very important.
Ci spostiamo sul bagnomaria. Mettiamo uno spessore in modo tale che la pentola respiri e l'acqua non fuoriesca.
That's a very good advice, guys. See, very good. Because normally when you do this, you have to be careful the water, the foam, from the water coming out. That's a very, very good trick, very good advice to avoid that. Very good. He's actually cooking the egg, like he's doing bain-marie. And I was about to say, he's putting the fat from the guanciale too.
Aggiungiamo un mestolo di grasso all'interno del nostro mix.
Nice, these will give beautiful, beautiful flavors. I can't believe he's doing this, bain-marie, okay.
Mescolo fino a quando i tuorli non raggiungano una temperatura di 65 gradi. Come faccio?
Okay, he's very precise in this. He wants the eggs to reach the temperature, 65, which makes it safer for everybody. Look, I make a tiramisu with raw eggs and I never had salmonella in my life.
Facciamo a casa a capire che i tuorli hanno raggiunto la temperatura desiderata. Prendiamo una marisa, la immergiamo e facciamo una piccola riga nel mezzo.
Interesting, wow, okay. God, this guy is really looking into single details, every small detail counts. This is very good. I'll try this next time.
Se l'uovo non cola, il nostro carbo mix è pronto.
Great. I like the word carbo mix.
A questo punto la pasta è pronta, la scoliamo e la mettiamo nella bowl.
No, this is the most beautiful part. Look, watch.
Aggiungiamo un mestolino di acqua di cottura. Aggiungiamo il guanciale. Completiamo con un altro mestolo di acqua.
Beautiful. Yeah, pasta water at this point is your best friend. The more pasta water, don't put too much, but the more you add, the more creamy this pasta becomes. And see all the eggs mixed on the sides? The water will get it and mix it with the pasta. Because you don't want to leave it there. All that beautiful cream on the sides, that needs to go in the pasta.
Mescoliamo la pasta con il guanciale e terminiamo la cottura sul bagnomaria.
Wow, okay, so he extra cook it bain-marie, so that means this is a very, very, very creamy carbonara. How do you do this at the restaurant for every time someone orders carbonara? I don't know. It must be very, very difficult to do this at the restaurant. At home, yes, you can easily do this and you can take your time and do it, and it's a fantastic idea.
A questo punto la carbonara è pronta, cremosa al punto giusto e possiamo impiattare.
Very creamy, very, very creamy.
Concludiamo con guanciale, pecorino e una spolverata di pepe.
Yeah, wow, guys, come on, this is beautiful. Creamy, peppery, cheesy. I'm glad you only added pecorino, not grana padano. I was fascinated. But there's definitely a lot to learn in this video. There's definitely great amount of advice shared in this video. Great advice by Luciano. I want to meet Luciano next time I go to Rome. But again, I won't say king, and he knows that too. Everybody in Rome is very proud of the carbonara. It's very personal. I guess everybody needs to have an idol and a king. But there are some amazing carbonaras in Rome, and honestly my favorite carbonara is a Maritozzo Rosso. They make an incredible carbonara. Even the eggs they use. The eggs they use come from Livorno. It's about 3 hours north of Rome, and the chickens, they eat carrots. So the eggs are red, like they're really red inside, like orange, dark orange red. And it's just amazing, like it's incredible. I will never be able to make that type of carbonara just because of the eggs. Done in a similar way, but different again. Everyone used their own techniques. But this Luciano is definitely, I guess, one of the best in the world. So well done. You do you can get the name of king. Why not, Luciano? You're the king, I guess. After watching this video, I'm really impressed by Luciano. I don't know the guy. I only see this video, to be honest. I've seen his face before, but this is the first time I see him making carbonara. I will go to his restaurant, like right now. I will fly to Rome just to go and eat his carbonara. If he can do that, it's very good. What do you guys think? I still like my carbonara. I've got my carbonara recipes. If you want the latest carbonara, I've got a 2023 version, 2021 version, the 2020 version, the 2019 version. Every year I launch a new carbonara. And you tell me which one you like the most. Do you like my carbonara where I use the whole egg? Or my latest carbonara where I just use the egg yolk? And I believe I use a very similar technique, the bain-marie too. Might be wrong, and I used the bain-marie technique too, so you go and watch it and tell me what you think. But definitely I used 100% pecorino. There is no grana padano in my carbonara. No, pecorino is my life. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I will see you in the next Vincenzo's Plate reaction video. E ora si mangia a beautiful carbonara made by Luciano. Thank you, Luciano. Ciao.